Nick.
Lovely to be back. How are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good.
It feels like a routine.
I know, it's great.
I feel like
isn't
I have to write something so I can be interviewed by you again.
How did it go last night? You were
Oh,
in
it
town
was
talking about your
fab.
book?
It was fab. It was lovely. We started off in Wanaka because I'm living in the south of France at the moment, so I flew in on Saturday. I just said that to really show off. And then we went to Wanaka yesterday, and you know, I was listening to you talking about the lovely snowy mountains. It was amazing in Wanaka.
Incredible, isn't it?
Absolutely, so beautiful you could die.
Yeah.
Great crowds, really great crowd last night as well. It's actually nice doing a book tour in the winter because people are sort of up for a do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know, and a nice night out. And particularly when you're promoting a fantastic book like this, which is so warm and vibrant, you know, it really makes winter come alive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, Culinary Adventures in Marrakech, and of course you've got the series on Prime as well at the moment as we speak, so the book to go with it.
Yeah.
So, tell me all about Marrakech. I've never been there. How would you
you
describe
not?
it? No.
Well, darling, this is your opportunity. Well, I've always loved North African food, you know, because I lived in France for 6 years, 10 years, and I had a lot of Moroccan friends, and so when I started doing my organised culinary tours in the south of France, my business partner and I decided to expand them to Marrakech, which is not very far from the south of France. It was the closest, most exotic thing that we could think of, and so we started doing the culinary tours in Marrakech. And I'd always just liked their food. I like North African food. I like food that is interesting and spicy, but not harsh and in your face. You know, like sometimes Indian food can be just too spicy, or Thai food can be too spicy. And if they took the chili out, you could actually taste the flavours. And Moroccan food's a bit like that. It's very irresistible. It's very tasty, and it's not invasive. It's not in your face.
So it's nice and kind of subtle, but still amazing. I mean, they've got.
Well, you wouldn't call it. I mean, you would call French food subtle. Moroccan food is kind of. It's very aromatic. It's full of things like cumin and paprika and ground coriander and nutmeg and cinnamon and kind of warm, exotic spices like that. And they use piles and piles of fresh mint, fresh coriander, fresh parsley. So it's very vibrant, and you just want to eat it. And they eat with their fingers, which is great.
Oh, do
Food
they?
tastes much better if you eat it with your fingers. You should try it. It's just like being a baby.
Yeah, I know. It must be fabulous. It must be quite freeing, I would imagine, too.
It just tastes better, and it feels much more sensual to eat food with your. And you don't have to eat like a pig. You eat. They eat the way Indians do. They use the 3 fingers of their right hand, and they just kind of roll it. And the food is never really hot. You know how the way we're desperate, everything has to be really hot.
Hot and hot, yeah.
In hot countries, they serve food warm. So you can put your hand, and they eat communally, so there's a big dish in the middle, and you put your fingers in and you roll it. It's quite wet, and you get a bit of couscous and a bit of vegetable and a bit of chicken liver, whatever you favour. And then they just kind of they make a neat ball and they flick it into their mouths. But you can imagine what happens when I flick it into my mouth. They're picking it off the walls politely after I leave. But you have to, and also you can't lick your fingers, of course, when you're eating with your hands, because it's a communal dish. And you're desperate to lick your fingers because you've got this juice coming down everywhere. And at the end, the maids come around with rose-tinted water and a towel, and you wash your hands. So you wash your hands before you start, and you wash your hands after you end.
Wow. How
And people notice, like the mother, if you're eating with a family, the mother will notice which bit you like. She'll watch the way you eat, and she'll start pulling out the bits of food, and she'll put it in front of you like a little bird.
Oh, wow. That's delightful.
It's so cute.
So what's kind of a typical menu like on a day in Marrakech? What do they eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner?
They get up late and they go to bed late.
Okay.
They hate going to bed. They're desperate, anything but go to bed. And you know how in Italy they do the passeggiata, everyone after dinner, everybody goes out onto the street and walks, families, nanas, teenagers, anybody. They do the same thing in Morocco, and it's called the passa, and they do that after dinner. And it could be, you could have whole families with little toddlers walking around, just looking, just talking to their mates, just making contacts, 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And then they go to bed. So in the morning they'll have handmade breads that they make. They have the typical kubs, which is their normal round flat bread, but they also make these fried breads, which are absolutely sensational. And they'll have you know, tea and coffee and fruit juice. And then lunch is normally the major meal. It'll be something quite substantial. And then they have in late afternoon, about 5 o'clock, they have le goûter, which means the taste. And that's when they eat all those sugar pastries, you know?
Yes.
You know, those pastries you get in the Arab shops and the Greek shops that are just all loaded with honey. And they're little, and you know, sometimes they're little, sort of shaped like little snakes and stuff. And so they all sit down and they stuff that in with anything else sweet they can think of, because Moroccans are addicted to sugar. And they'll drink mint tea with that, or there's a lovely other thing they drink, which is almond milk. They hand make their own almond milk by steeping it overnight. It's really beautiful. And then you'll have a light dinner on the rooftop if it's hot. You'll sit on the roof of the house and have a light dinner, just a salad.
So the big one's about the 5 o'clock with all the sugar rush and everything.
Well, no, that's not the big one, but it's the one they all look forward to.
Yeah, the most. That's a real treat for them. So some of the recipes that you've got in here are fantastic, just kind of flicking through them. And quite easy to make, like once you've got your fresh ingredients, you're good to go?
It's not hard. Moroccan cuisine is... it can be long, some of the dishes are long, but it's not complicated, and there are no ingredients that you can't get in New Zealand.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of exotic Moroccan ingredients that they do use, but I haven't put any of them in this book. So everything that you can get, you get. And when you're buying spices for exotic cooking, like Indian or Moroccan or whatever, is buy small amounts and buy them fresh. And then rebuy them, because you know, most people go into their spice cupboards, and if you ask them to, been there for 5 years, it doesn't smell like cinnamon. Throw them out after a couple of months, buy new ones, and you'll make up your own mixes as well, which is really nice.
And good to see here that you've got a recipe of the Dayton apple cigars, I see, from Simo. Simo's here in Christchurch, which is great.
I saw Simo last night.
He's fabulous,
there's 2 recipes from him, actually.
Which is wonderful.
I think his restaurant's doing really well, and that is, if you want to taste real Moroccan food, that's the place to go to in Christchurch.
Fantastic. So tell me, because last time we were speaking about men in your book about that, what do you think about Moroccan men?
Oh, what do you think? Have you seen Moroccan men? They're gorgeous. And they love women.
Well, that's the most important thing.
They love women, and they pay you compliments all the time. All the time. They say, you're walking down the street and they say, I will wait for you forever, flower.
You'll be like, I'll be right back.
You're going, yeah.
How long are you going to be living in France for?
I'm trying. I'm working towards spending a lifetime of summers.
Lovely.
So summer in France, summer in New Zealand, summer in France.
You've got it sorted, hasn't she, Joss? The lovely Peta Mathias, thank you so much for popping back in. Her new book is out at the moment, Culinary Adventures in Marrakech, and it's amazing. It's a great recipe book as well as a gorgeous guidebook as well, and the photos.
And lots of stories.
Fantastic. Yeah, stories are hilarious, so make sure that you do pick it up, Peta. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you again, and good luck.
Thank you.